Welcome back to Living on the Ocean. Cutting a hole in the new aft deck to make a flush hatch. We cannot buy a hatch that has that perfect curve to fit the new deck we just built. So building one ourselves is becoming a very interesting project because there's lots of details to doing this, and I hope you enjoy watching this. There were good reasons to rebuild the stern of Trimaran Dawn, which is explained in our previous episodes, and we did that on the sandbank, which wasn't the easiest, but it all worked out quite well. We made steps in it, rudder connections, 2 chain plates from carbon fiber, and a new aft deck, which we did in the last episode. It's still very early when our day starts. But this day is strange, the sun has just come up. It's August. What are those clouds doing here? And this is not just clouds, look how black they are. We did not expect this kind of weather. There are thunderstorms coming. And how can we do our work when it's raining? The wind we got used to, but we absolutely cannot handle rain at the moment. And again we are very happy with the tent that we built on the aft deck over our work. Because it helps for the sun with working with epoxy, and now it's helping against rain. Inside we have been so busy. We've put that new piece of the aft deck in place and sanded all the high spots away to make it all nicely smooth and flush without using too much epoxy filler. And now we are drawing the lines for the hatch that we are gonna build at the beginning of this aft deck if you step on it from the transom. This is gonna be the hatch that I'm gonna cut out. This piece is gonna be the real hatch, and the lines that I made around here are gonna be the gutters. And you can see that part of this hatch is gonna be planted in the top step. You can see the new chain plate, and you can also see part of the tow rail that we already built over there. And with this saw machine we're gonna cut out this line. But first I'm gonna have coffee. Coffee breaks. Not spill my coffee. This wheelhouse behind me, actually this is gonna be chopped off, and there's gonna be the cockpit up here. It's gonna get a hatch, a sliding hatch in here to go down below here. There will be a toilet, a wash basin, a showering in the middle. Then here's a bulkhead running right underneath those winches, that's why they can stand here for now. And then you come to this hatch where a single bed is on each side, a bit of walkway, and then it actually becomes a double bed underneath what I just built. Lots of storage space underneath where we're planning to put sails and weight to trim this boat back. So what's gonna happen after everything we've done now? Those things are massive, aren't they? They're all Barbarossa, before Harkin bought up Barbarossa from 1982. They have a bit of corrosion on the aluminium inside, that's a bit of pity. But I find them cool and they work, so great. We're going to build a new wing up here, with the possibility also of having solar panels on it. And we want that in line with what's going to be the new wheelhouse. The wheelhouse will start farther forward, this area will be open, and then we basically get a solid bimini about this high. Going forwards, we're slowly climbing up and then going down like a drip towards the mast where the windows will be. And that will give the effect when it comes down here that everything, inclusive this roof and a sleek looking transom, I think, it all will be in that same line. And that wing that comes on here will go also in that line. So a lot more work is going to be done here. You already, if you know a bit about Trimarans, you're going to realize that those floats, they were for a 4-ton boat, and see, it's now 8 tons. They're not big enough. We need new floats, or make those bigger. And the beams, they're not strong enough. So we need to strengthen them, or make new ones. Now here comes the interesting part, when I sit up here having my coffee and I dream. Why would we destroy the floats of Dawn and the beams? Because by themselves, they're still a joint unit. They can be disconnected, they would float. They could have anything built on that platform in between. They could be a floating workshop, a fantastic liveaboard home that floats in very shallow waters. Or we could go as crazy as building a new middle hull of 13 meters and really restore Côte Basque. In which case, we have the mast, we have still of the old stuff. We're thinking about taking the daggerboard out of this boat and putting solid keels in the new side floats if we're going to make them. So we even have the old daggerboard. But I only have 2 hands. Anyway, when I drink coffee I sometimes just wander off thinking about ideas. We're first going to make this boat sail the way she is. This summer it's already much farther past than we planned, but after this summer, after hurricane season, we are on our way as soon as we can to the Caribbean with the state she is. And there we're going to continue. I'm going to cut out the hatch that's going to be built in the roof. It's not going to be so easy, but it's going to work, we hope. And to start cutting this shape, you could first drill a hole, put a saw in it and start cutting. But with this saw that I already have for almost 30 years, it's an incredible good saw, I think. You can just basically let the saw blade slowly go over the line, don't push too hard, get to the fibers and get to the foam. The most fantastic thing about this saw is that it can cut exactly 90 degrees. It has little supports next to the blades. It's those supports that keep the blade going straight down instead of going off left and right as you sometimes have if you cut a thicker material. And as always, it's right tools that make the job work. So I have a beginning and now I can start cutting. I only get one chance to do this right in this new deck that we just built. Especially in the corners, I'm really relying upon my saw to stay straight and make those corners nicely. I cannot cut any farther here because this corner stops me from making the right turn. So I have to do this from the other side. Now doing the other side is basically the same, so I'm gonna speed this up just to get very quick to the other side. Well, I cut it all out, it should come out. And there's my hatch. With some hinges, the job is done. I'm very happy with this. This works very well. Let's go to the gas locker, the generator, gasoline tanks. with the light that now comes into the new transom. It all looks fantastic. You can see in the end the water tank that we are building, the 2 bulkheads with the chain plates and the black carbon, the bottom of the stairs. We've done a fantastic job and I'm very happy with this. Now there's a lot more work to do in here, but having an entrance like this and having the light and the fresh air, or the possibility for air in here, will make that work so much easier. I'm happy we have this hatch opening. I need to make the gutter here for the water that comes in. Obviously I want hinges that are or underneath or sunken into the deck. A lot of work done. Now I can build in here very easily. I don't have to crawl to the wheelhouse to come into here. A big step forward. And we have the hatch. You can see the 15 mil foam and the 10 mil foam. Somewhere in here I had to fill it out with those little blocks. You can see the glass fiber I did from underneath in the last episode. Now I need to work on those edges, make sure there's a rubber trim in there. It's lots of fun. It's gonna get now to much more details, like the trimmings for the hatches, the finishing off of the chain plates. I don't know if you can see, but here's a bit of the toe rail. And then I can start working inside here. Yeah, the old transom is somewhere all the way over here. We're gonna get a new end of the aft cabin that will come up till about here, giving us, let's see, I could make a joint in here. We made this big enough so our generator can fit in here as well to store it better. Well, this is 50 centimeters. You can actually see it still to the filler. That's the old joint. So it's going to be 45 centimeters extension to the bed in the aft cabin, making it nice and comfortable in there. Bye! I forgot to close the hatch. Bye! We thank you all that subscribe to our channel. It's been really overwhelming and encouraging to see how many of you responded and following our adventures. If you haven't become a subscriber yet, I hope you click the round button down below here. And we made a playlist of all the building alterations to Trimaran Dawn, which is up here on the left, and our sailing videos on the right hand side. Thank you for watching Living on the Ocean, and we hope to see you in the next episode.